Hello and welcome everybody to the next module of the Thought Leadership Marketing Program. And this is going to be a very, very interesting and different kind of module for you, as I am thrilled to have a guest presenter with us today. And just as an intro, this module is one of the last modules on social media in the Thought Leadership Marketing process, and it's all on Twitter. And I am very excited to have with us today Joel Comm. And for those of you who don't know Joel, what that indicates is that you're probably new to Twitter and you're probably new to Internet marketing, because he is the thought leader when it comes to Twitter, and certainly one of the pioneers of the Internet marketing space. And, you know, Twitter, for those of you who are under a rock, you know, Twitter probably over the last 18 months or 2 years has become one of the most powerful forces in social media and in marketing. You really can't read a newspaper or listen to the news any day without hearing the terms Twitter mentioned. Just recently, you know, as the uprising in Iran has been going on, you hear Twitter as the source of getting the news out there. But beyond just news and beyond just celebrities, Twitter is really an incredibly powerful tool for business. And Joel has just authored the best-selling book. Actually, not only is it the best-selling book on Twitter, but it actually reached the bestseller list, and it's called Twitter Power. And as you see on the screen, it's how to dominate your market one tweet at a time. And today, Joel is going to take you all through the things that his clients pay him big bucks to learn, and the secrets of using Twitter in the thought leadership marketing process. Just by way of introduction as to who Joel is, you know, he is probably, Joel, I don't know if I'm overstating this, but, you know, he's been online for over 20 years doing marketing, which is essentially, you know, before any of us were online, he was a pioneer in that space. He was the launch person, the entrepreneur behind worldvillage.com, which many of you know is a very family-friendly portal which drove huge audience. And many of you would have no idea of knowing this, but Joel was the person behind a company called classicgames.com. And if you've ever played a game on Yahoo through Yahoo's games service, that was Joel's company that was acquired by Yahoo. I first found out about Joel when I met him at a Book Expo America show. Back then, he had an amazing book for anybody who wants to know about how to use Google AdWords and using Google to market. Joel has a book called The AdSense Code, which is the definitive book on the topic still, and he's just a wonderful guy. And one of the things that I'm also excited about, and very soon you may hear an announcement from Joel and I related to a magazine dealing with Twitter and business. So with that, I'm very excited to introduce to you all Joel Comm. Joel, welcome.
Hey, Larry, thanks. And after that introduction, I'm pretty eager to hear what I have to say.
No pressure on you now, Joel.
It better be good, I'll tell you that.
So one of the things that I want to share with everybody, and just as far as managing expectations today, we're going to have Joel for about an hour, and he's going to run through as much stuff as he possibly can. And he's prepared this whole program for us. But having read his book, Twitter Power, I want you to understand there's no way he can cover all of that, especially in a video demo like this, in that period of time. Everybody, I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend you go out and buy the book Twitter Power, because now that you've got your Twitter account set up, you add to that what you're going to learn today, and you combine that with what you'll learn in Twitter Power, you put that all together, and you're going to have everything that you need to really do very well in your thought leadership marketing endeavors through Twitter. Now, Joel, could you also add, before we get into the content here, I know that when you buy Twitter Power at your website, it's twitterpower.com, right?
That's correct.
Now, I remember that there was a bonus. Maybe you could just share with it so I don't misspeak about what they can do related to the social media boot camp?
Yeah, when people purchase a copy of Twitter Power, they get a link that allows them to sign up for my bonus social media boot camp. It's a 4-module boot camp that covers my 4-prong approach to social media. There's a lot of social media sites out there, but I really focus on these 4, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course Twitter, with Twitter being the most significant and powerful right now. And this boot camp is valued at $297, and of course it's a thank you to those who purchase the book Twitter Power, and they'll get that as a bonus.
Now, how do they go and get registered for that? Is there anything that they need in the book to do it?
Yeah, there's a URL in the book that's special for them, and when they go there, they just put in their name and their email address, and they get access to all 4 modules.
Excellent. All right, so there you go, everybody. You have an even greater incentive to go out and get Twitter Power. And with that, I'm going to toss it over to Joel, and pay attention, get your notes out, and I'm sure this is going to be something that you're going to have to listen to more than once to be able to implement. But Joel, it's great to have you, and take the controls away.
Thanks, Larry, and feel free to butt in if you have any questions along the way or need any clarification. I've got a lot of content, so and a little time, so listen fast, okay?
Sounds good.
I mean, the bottom line is Twitter is absolutely everywhere right now. You cannot turn on your TV, your radio, read the paper, go on the web, or even in pop culture, all the references to Twitter. It's becoming ubiquitous. There's a $10 word for you there. In fact, it's becoming so common that comic strips is starting to show up. Here's this guy, what a busy world. In the next 5 minutes, I'll do nothing. And he thinks about it and then thinks, well, maybe I should Twitter about it. And this gal here talking to her friend, I've broken up with Jim. Really? How